You know, with all the acting skills of this particular acting legend, you would have thought that he could have manifested himself to be either beamed up or at least attend in person. Oh yes, we're talking about the one and only Jean-Luc Picard. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Are you a Star Trek fan? Are you? Well, I'm not bad. I like the original series, yes, with Leonard Nimoy and, of course, William Shatner, all the rest of them. I thought it was brilliant. And if you remember when you were very young, when you were at school, you had to wait for your mum's eyeshadow with a flip lid to go scrape it out, and then you could have one of those things that you know the things I mean. You beamed yourself up, do you remember? We all played at it in the playground, didn't we? Sci-fi at its best. Gene Roddenberry, what a guy, saw the future, and when you think about it, who knows, we might be beamed up somewhere. That's exactly, though, what the people of this West Yorkshire borough, Kirklees Council, were hoping to happen. Now, they are one of the most cash-strapped councils in the United Kingdom right now. They've spent all the money on ridiculous things, as all councils do, and they're absolutely a calamity at running any level of business. So what do they decide to do? Well, they offer the freedom of the borough, right, to people. And one of the people they decided to offer it to was the Murfield-born actor, Patrick Stewart. Now, he's something of a cultural icon, literally in Yorkshire, simply because he's gone all the way from Yorkshire to Hollywood. Quite a few of us have, but maybe with a little bit more success. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because basically they awarded it to two other people as well, and rightly so. But you know, they would have thought that Sir Patrick may have come over to his beloved Yorkshire town to pick it up in person. No, he came via Zoom, yes. And I think they were very disappointed, let me tell you, because they were hoping for a little bit of Hollywood stardust to be sprinkled on the event, as one can imagine. So what really happened was something of a, well, you know. And what is also interesting, what I find fascinating is, you know, he's very much a Labour card carrier in person. So one might suspect not necessarily that big on the royal family, a little bit like the current British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, but happy to take the title Sir. You get the picture. Now, I've met Patrick on many occasions, and it's always a bit of a thorny thing. I feel feels he should be up there with the greats like Richard Burton, Sir Ian McKellen, people like that. He is a good actor, and there's no two ways about it. He has a lot of fans around the world, but for some inexplicable reason hasn't resonated in the same light. What was interesting, though, at an event in Yorkshire a few years back, I felt he wasn't particularly friendly, and this is because a lot of young people wanted to have their pictures with him, and they were going to, you know, queue up and all that sort of stuff, but he didn't want to do that. You had to pass the autograph book through, and he signed a few that way. The organisers had put on a special spread. That's a buffet, as we like to say in Yorkshire, right? Oh no, he wasn't staying for that. He was going off to his house in Windermere for a party. They were mortified. So I'm always stunned when these particular people still get honoured time and time again, because clearly what you want is that celebrity to turn up. Now, I have to tell you a very interesting story, because really right at the very start of his career, it was actually my father that placed him in his very first play while they were at school. Oh yes. And we have the programme, we have everything to back it up. But interestingly, as I often say here on the show, these particular things are never highlighted in that particular person's autobiography. I'm not suggesting they should be, but this was his very first time on the stage. And what's interesting about Patrick is he always moans about the media in The Intrusion, but actually before he landed it big in a local amateur dramatic company, he was trying to become a journalist with a local newspaper reporter, the Dewsbury Reporter. But things all move on, and perhaps that's the reason why some of these darker memories mean he doesn't want to return. Either way, Kirklees were less than thrilled. Now, I'll be beamed up, I'm sure. Neil Shawn in the very heart of London.